Literally, the baddest babes I've ever hooked up with have some sort of like problems going on. I don't think it's toxic. I just hate being bored. Oh, fuck. Let's get started, shall we? Hey guys, it's your girl, Sam Manuel. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, welcome to Monday with Emmanuel, where I share with you my advice, experiences, and life lessons that I learned the hard way, so you don't have to. I wanted to get on here real quick and record that and record this because I didn't want to forget, but I had a conversation with my best friend today, and she told me that I should record a video about narcissists, narcissism, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but this is a serious topic, narcissists, and how it's a common misconception that most narcissists are men, which is absolutely false because I've dated and interacted with a lot of female narcissists, and I don't know why social media and the world gives this title of narcissist to men and just men, because it's far from the truth. Some women that I've encountered are the biggest narcissists, have the biggest egos that I've ever seen. And something we talk about on this channel often is how ego just really destroys or can destroy who you are as a person. We have to coexist with our ego, right? It's our soul and our ego, and they somehow have to coexist together and live a normal life, but you can't let ego take full control and drive the car that is your bag of meat or human body. Some of the hottest women I've been with were like narcissists, like 100%. And I allowed them to have dictatorship over my life and just run rampant, because at the time all I wanted was to be loved, and I just wanted someone to like love bomb me, which is what they did. And I accepted that and thought it was love. And you know, you get caught into the cycle, especially someone like me. I'm a hopeless romantic. I believe in, love in the movies and like love at first sight and all of that stuff. So it's easy to get caught up in that cycle because that's what they change after. Obviously a narcissist changes, they breadcrumb you. They don't give you what they want. They start fights with you. It gets very violent. It happens. It happened. Yeah. But that part of my life is over now, for the most part. There are the days where, I don't know, I don't miss it, but I need to learn that is not healthy. And I have, for the most part. I've done a lot of deep diving into why I act the way I act and why I accept the things I accepted. I read something that said, how am I supposed to know what love looks like from coming from a broken home, right? Like I only know what like disaster looks like, and that's not love. My parents, there was a lot of chaos growing up in my household, and I correlate that chaos with how love is supposed to be. Even though deep down I know that that's not what love is, that's still what I correlate love to being, chaotic. And I used to think like, oh, if they chase me, they love me. Like that's not what it is. What it is if they love me, they're going to communicate that to me and not make me question their love and not make me have to fight for it, right? There's nothing wrong with fighting for your love in a healthy way. A lot of my life I spent trying to find and keep love in a healthy way. And to be completely honest, my younger years, looking back on those relationships, it's like, oh fuck, like that was not good. I've definitely come a long way in my journey, in my travels, and yeah. Narcissists. There are a lot of female narcissists out there. It's bad enough that a narcissist can't really see that they're being a narcissist, or won't admit to it, or don't seek help for it. I see that as a real disease, honestly. Narcissism, blaming everybody else except yourself. Not healthy, not good. And that's a real mental illness. That's just my opinion on it, though. Those people need help. Because they're not just hurting themselves, they're hurting others, literally everybody around them. They're usually in large pathological liars. They use these word salads, and they're really good at turning tables on you. That's one thing a lot of women are really good, or women were really good at in my life, turning the tables on me to make it look like it was my fault that I did that. And I was living in that pattern for a while because I was women jumping. I was jumping from one toxic relationship to the next, and I wasn't healing myself from it. So I still had those patterns in my head, and I was connecting with toxic people who kept me in those patterns, in that, well, you're not good enough, and there's nothing you could provide, and I am more than good enough, and I provide a lot. And looking back on it, I did provide a lot. I provide the women that I've been with everything. Dinners and dates and trips and school. And I've been a huge financial provider for a lot of the women in my life. And at the end of the day, it's like, why did I do that? To prove my worth? To prove that I'm worthy enough to be with someone? And they didn't even appreciate it. Comments like, well, I didn't ask you to do that. Jesus Christ, that's fucked up. Those are fucked up comments. I didn't ask you to do that. Yeah, well, I did it because I love you, you dumb fuck. Like, hello? So yeah, I've always been a provider in my relationships. Literally always. I don't mind that role. I like that role. I like being able to give to my partner. Eventually, I want a house with my partner, and I want her to decorate the house, and if she wants kids, we could do that. And I feel like this isn't a codependent statement, so don't take it that way. I feel like when I find the right partner or the right person, they will turn. I don't know why I'm getting emotional. When I find the right partner or the right person, they will turn my house into a home. I'm not saying I need somebody in order to live a great life. I could live alone, and I could do that for a very long time. I could do that for the rest of my life, honestly. It's not unheard of. But I do desire a partner to be in my life, and for us to connect and discuss our ideologies, and I want a woman I could talk to and have a good time with. A woman that could turn a house into a home. That's what I'm looking for. I make my house a home. I know that I could do that myself. I'm not stupid. I know I can go throughout life without somebody, and I'm perfectly fine with that, because being alone, not a big deal, not a huge deal for me. I do my shit. I have my routine. It would just be nice. And I feel like I'm giving myself excuse, I'm trying to, in a way, backpedal away from the things that I want, because I feel like society frowns upon being with somebody. Because, oh, you want to be with someone? You're so codependent. You should be able to be alone. Yeah, I am, but having someone would be lit. Right? Would be cool. And I want that. I aspire to have that. Am I setting myself up to have that? No, I'm not on dating sites. I'm not out there in the world trying to pick women up. But I want that. That's a goal for me. That's a goal for my life. And I feel like society really frowns upon that. I feel bad for a lot of men out there, a lot of the good men out there who want a housewife and a mother to their kids, and it's so frowned upon now. And I think that's disgusting that we do that to people, because people should be able to live the life that they want to live without other people trying to fucking interfere and shit on it. This video was supposed to be about narcissism, and now I just don't know where it's going, so... Oh my god. I guess I just really wanted to put that out there, that there are narcissistic women out there. Y'all think it's just the men. It's not. The men are just violent. That's what gets the publicity. The violence in the men, because it's so heavy. Narcissistic men beat the fuck out of their women, right? Because they get violent. They get to that point. They do those things. Men are aggressive and dominating and this and that because they're men and they're strong and like, but women are emotionally manipulative ninjas. And I'm a woman. I should know, right? Women will emotionally manipulate you until you are on the floor in the fetal position, crying, wanting to kill yourself. Literally. They'll do it. They'll keep going too. They don't care. Women don't care. I care. But the women that I've been around, they don't give a fuck about your feelings, bro. They don't give a fuck about your feelings. They're hot, and they can get what they want, and that's that. They don't care about anything else. A lot of them, a large majority. And then the conversation, the manipulation, there's levels of the narcissism. And it could go all the way up to violence. There's some violent narcissistic women, but we don't talk about that, do we? We don't talk about how women could be violent and beat the fuck out of you equally as a man. And then the men, or me, taught not to hit women. They don't fight back. They don't defend themselves because they're respectful. At what point do you stop being respectful and beat the fuck out of someone who's bragging on you? Then you hear about women cutting their guys' dicks off and, throwing them in the meat grinder. Like, it's like, well, what made her do that? Well, he was beating the fuck out of her. She took action. She snapped. That's it. That's what happened, baby. Let's look up what narcissist means in the dictionary. Narcissistic personality disorder is a mental health condition in which people have an unreasonable high sense of their own importance, ego. They need and seek too much attention and want people to admire them. People with this disorder may lack the ability to understand or care about the feelings of others. Tell me you haven't dated someone like that. Tell me you've dated a narcissist without telling me you've dated a narcissist. I'll go first. Madon. Women are the worst at this. I'm sorry. Men are bad at it too. But women, the majority of women do have a high sense of importance. They think they're great. They think they're beautiful. It's a beauty thing. Women pride themselves on how they look. I mean, I don't. But a lot of women pride themselves on how they look and what they can get based on their looks. And they make themselves seem more important than they really are. They create this God complex in their minds, and that's that. They don't give a fuck about you. They want attention. They want approval. They want unrealistic expectations. It's fake. It's a facade. It's a mask. It's not real. Narcissists could go to therapy for a very long time and still not be cured of their narcissism. There's no medication for it. At least not that I'm aware of. It just is what it is. 444 on the clock. They live in this fantasy world and think they're hot shit. And who fits that description better than a woman? Right? Men fit it. There's a lot of men that fit it. But I feel like women fit that description better. It sucks. It's very negative to think that way, but they do. They pull you in. They start by, they gas you up, right? They start gassing you up, love bombing you. Oh my God, you're, oh, blah, 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 blah. We're going to have a great life together, and I love you. And then you feed into that. A very weak person feeds into that. Me. Or who I used to be, fed into that shit. Fed right into it. Oh my God, someone loves me. They prey on the weak. Narcissists know to prey on weak-minded individuals. They know. They know what to do. They know the moves to make. They don't have to fit all of the boxes either. There's different forms of narcissism. There's different forms of it. You could have a few categories. You could have a couple categories. You still a narcissist. Big fucking ego. God complex to the max. Didn't care about anybody else's feelings but their own. If even. That's a problem. I think when you lose empathy for other people and you're only focused about yourself or on yourself, you're not going to get very far. At all. I'm telling you, women are emotionally manipulative mind ninjas. Women know how to play the game. Men are more easygoing and like not in a bad way, but men are more like having a good time. Like they say something and they mean it. They want to do something and they do it. Or they say they're going to do something and they do it. Men are very A to B. Women are like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, blah, 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 and they still don't get to Z because they go back to B, they go back to D, they go back to J. They're all over the place in the alphabet. I think the biggest thing is the turning of the tables and that it's never their fault. And it's only your fault or whoever is in their life at that point. It's their fault. They did it. They made me feel that way. Well, what about you? What part did you play in that? Did you think about what part you played in it? Maybe you should apologize. A narcissist will never apologize. Ever. You'll never get a actual sincere apology out of a narcissist. In like emergency grab to pull you back in, they might say they're sorry, but it's bullshit. They're just trying to hook you. They're trying to get their hooks back into you to pull you back in. You're their supply. You're their supply. You're feeding them. A narcissist is only as good as their victim. I know I said that narcissist victims are usually weak-minded people, but they're really not. Sometimes, in a lot of cases, their victims are more successful than them or have a better personality than them or are just far better. And the narcissist wants to emulate that. They want to mimic that. They want to steal your light from you. They want to steal your thunder. They don't want you to be up here. They want you to be down here with them. And yeah, they have these fake big goals for themselves, right? But they're not real either. You make them real. For them, you support all their stupid shit. And they give you nothing back. All right. Well, I'm emotionally drained. I need to go take a nap. That was a lot. All right. Bye. Happy holidays.